He was just looking at the horrible colour of this Beamer.
Yeah.
And we think that's an horrible colour. But then we looked across there. There's obviously more money in this car park than...
See, from here, Gary, I can see quite clearly to the end.
Now, I am expected and under a duty to film and take pictures of interesting motor cars. And I just know that all of you want one of these, and all of you are going to turn it into some sort of exotic rat rod. You're going to find a way of putting a V8 Chevrolet lump in it or something like that. But that's not actually what I got the camera out for. And if I turn round a little bit further, there's some sort of Ford, and on the back of it it says Fusion. So I suppose that's a Ford Fusion. But there's something behind it which I think you probably want me to get closer to. Now straight away we see that it's got that funny sort of three-pointed thing that tells us it's a Mercedes. And it's black, and if we're really lucky, apart from it's black and shiny and it looks like it's more expensive than you and I want to know about, if we walk round to the back end of it, it might, you never know, it might tell us what it is. And apparently it's an SL 500. I'm sure that means something to someone out there. To me, I regret it's a black car. Oh dear. Alright, yes, I'm a Philistine, I admit it. But that's the sort of place that Leigh-on-Sea is. There are people that just have cars like that just for popping down the shops and parking outside them. And if you look along the road a bit, there's another car there with the sort of three-pointed sort of thing on the front. Tells us it's a Mercedes. And interestingly, it's got stickers in the windscreen that tell us that someone associated with the vehicle is disabled, which is why it's okay to park it on double yellow lines, where in the normal way, if you park there, you get taken away by men in white hats who, I don't know what they do with you, but you know, I'm sure it's painful. And look, this is an SLK 250. I guess that means that it's got a 250cc motorbike engine in it or something. And CDI, it's obviously got a CD player instead of an 8-track. Is that right? I don't know. One of you will put me right on that, I'm sure. Now across the way, well, that, I sort of half know what that is. That's a BMW of some sort, isn't it? So it's basically a four-wheel bubble car if it's a BMW. Is it an Isetta? I don't know. It's blue. It's a blue BMW. And of course there's a Range Rover. I'm willing to bet that Range Rover has never had its wheels on anything except tarmac and concrete front gardens. I bet it's never been in the mud. Could be wrong, but I'm willing to bet that. Then we see a conundrum. When I were a lad, we all drove Cortinas and Morris Minors and things, and we all dreamt about the day that we could afford a sports car. We dreamt about MGs and Jaguars and Porsches. And the Porsche was a hard little sports car that you could drive around the Nürburgring at silly miles an hour, and it wasn't supposed to be comfortable, but it was supposed to be fast and stick to the road. And then, for reasons best known to the company, Porsche have produced this thing. Now, I'm sure it's a very well engineered vehicle. I'm sure it's beautifully made. I'm sure the engineering is excellent. But come on, it's a small lorry. How can that possibly be a Porsche? What's the world coming to? Flowers in your hair I can afford. Well, that's more like a Porsche. A Cayman S. I wonder what that means. I know it means that I can't afford it. Yeah. Oh look, and a Volkswagen. That's definitely the sort of Volkswagen that you need for pulling trailers loaded with Volkswagens, isn't it? And you know the really funny thing? You can have whatever sort of motor car you can afford, and you can drive it and you can park it, and you can leave it wherever you like, and you still end up parked under a tree that birds sit in. Oh well.